Jota and Jimenez just tapped it in, and that would have been his 2 hat-tricks in a week. Because he scored a hat-trick in the Europa.
Yeah, he did. He's only got 5 goals all season, though, and he's got 2 assists.
Yeah. I wouldn't rush to put him in.
Yeah, it's one of those,
he's
isn't
like
it?
6 million odd, I think.
But is he worth getting at the moment because he's in form, or do you think it's a bit of a...
It's going to be tough, you know why? Because Traore as well, he's been popular, right? The second half of the season, but he was benched.
He was,
second time, second week.
But look at his recent game weeks counting back. So yes, 16 this week, but before that, 2 points, 1 point, 0 point, 0 point, 1 point.
The rich.
Not for me.
It's 6.1 million.
Flash in the pan, as they say.
I mean, they got Spurs.
Which part?
Old people say.
That was a nice reference for our old fans. They would have enjoyed that one. Thank you, Patrick.
Saint and Greasy.
But then you had Doherty and Sace as well from Wolves, both in the dream team. I mean, anyone who plays Norwich, you've got to try and pile on. I think they're just so poor.
That's right, yeah.
And then Burnley as well. They've been doing well. A couple of players in the dream team from Burnley. They kept it up this week with 3-0 though against Bournemouth.
I don't know if you saw the highlights. Bournemouth got pretty much two disallowed. I think Bournemouth showed signs of good fight. They could be a threat to that relegation battle, But yeah, Burnley, obviously, with the 3 points, I think the second goal determined.
I mean, what I'd say about Burnley, 3 clean sheets in 4, looking all right, to be honest. But
Nick Pope.
Yeah, strong keeper. If you haven't got him in goal, try and get one of their defenders, is my piece of advice. And then we've already chatted Alexander-Arnold. We chatted Aubameyang, I believe.
Yeah.
Really played well.
Really well, yep.
Shane Long was the other guy in the dream team.
Interesting, he nicked a goal.
Is he going to take it over from Ings? Probably not.
No.
But he's playing him in the centre now, and Ings is playing out on the wing.
Yeah, well, he was just the first person to their ball, to be honest, and the good tap-in otherwise. I think Ingsy would have been on it.
Okay, and then to round it out, I think Van Aanholt from Palace was actually called out as being the fantasy tip for the week. He did score, he did get an assist.
Yeah.
He got in the dream team, 15 points, and he's 5.5 million now. I said last week, I think that's quite a lot for a defender. And the fact, if you do look at his form, like Sean was just saying about Jota, okay, he got 15, but previous to that, 1-2. Okay, loads of zeros because he didn't play. 2-2-1, just not good enough. He's not going to get in my team. There's no way he's replacing Rico. Then I've got to say it, lads. Fernandes, he was in the team. United have finally had a player in the dream team. It's our first time for a good while, and
he stepped up and took that penalty confidently.
Wow,
that was a cheeky little penalty he took, and I think we called it out a couple of weeks ago when he transferred in. He's the type of player that we said he's going to really help people's game, like Martial, really unlock a lot of play and you can see that really in the game, the way he kind of really playing that almost box to box, and he just strode into the final third, and for Martial's goal, kind of passed it out, and I thought Martial fluffed his lines, but great goal in the end.
Chip,
really good, very
good goal.
He kind of stole the headlines, didn't he, Fernandes? I think a lot of people.
He was great.
A lot of people would be flocking to, especially with the black game weeks for Man City.
That's right, yeah.
He's a pretty good price option. He's a little bit more expensive than Martial, right? So Martial's 8 million. Fernandes 8.2.
Is he 8? He's 8.2. Yeah, he's gone up 0.2 since he even came into the league, mate.
That's right. Yeah.
He's got, and interestingly, I don't know if this is just coincidence. Since he's been in the United team, we've had 3 clean sheets. He's got 2 assists for us. He's only played 3 games. Every game was a clean sheet. 2 assists, 1 goal. I mean, he's averaging 7 points a game, and he's driving us forward. And in that game against, who did we play? We smashed them 3-0, Watford.
Yep.
He actually was the man that passed it through to Martial as well. So had Martial scored there, he'd have got the 3. I mean, he's a driving force. He's brilliant. I'm loving the guy.
Where'd they even find him? I know he's obviously from Sporting Lisbon, right?
I mean, he was
in that film, wasn't he?
Already?
Bruno's in that film. Told you last week.
Hi.
Sasha Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, I mean, he was a star though. He was kind of the next big thing coming out of Portugal, to be honest. I mean, the star in the Sporting Lisbon team. Someone who obviously idolised Ronaldo, and he was definitely, a lot of clubs who were looking at him, I think, in the summer. But
he's definitely what we need at the moment. And just to ask around the table very quickly, will he be enough to get United 4th spot? What do you guys think?
I don't see it.
No.
I mean, right now, I think he's the man. He's the man. Obviously with Pogba out.
Displaced Chelsea. I'm very hopeful.
I think he displaced.
We've got some tough games coming up, though, but we'll talk about that.
Everton, then City, then Spurs.
if he's as good as he's played the last 3 games, I think
our season will be defined in the next 4 games. Okay, guys, that was the game week 27 in a pretty large nutshell. Sean John McGinn fanboy, you've got one Klopp and one flop for us.
Klopp and the flop.
It's your time for fame, my boy. Take it away.
For the Klopp this week, picking up the accolade for the first time in a while. I don't remember it recently, but the one and other MVD.
Thank you.
69 points,
stuff,
a few big shouts in there. I'd give you that. You went brave. You picked Aubameyang. You got your 13 points.
Should have captained him.
And you captained Salah.
Did you bring him in that week?
No, I had him in week 4.
He held on to his team, not making any transfers, held steady. So
there you
go. You got the Klopp without doing anything.
Stuff, mate. Yeah.
Sometimes not doing anything.
That's the right way to go.
Exactly.
The other end, looking at the flop, difficult this week, but I'm going to go with all the big name strikers. Out with Aubameyang, you can look at Aguero, you can look at Vardy, you can look at Ings, you can look at Firmino. Just what happened? No one seemed to turn up, right? Aguero missing the penalty, Danny Ings getting hooked after 71 minutes, Vardy not doing anything.
Vardy was sober.
Who's the worst if you pick one of them?
That's major bad.
What?
Who's the worst if you were to pick one of them?
Well, Aguero got 0 points for missing the penalty.
Yeah.
Got that, but Vardy ain't done it for weeks now.
Yeah, Vardy is just
talking about his sleep.
He's still in 35 points to represent of teams. I don't know how he's holding on so far. So they can pick up that award jointly. I don't know if they'll even be able to.
I think his legs are gone for the second half of the season.
It's Rebecca's not letting him party anymore, so it's
They had another kid, eh?
So they got Norwich, Aston Villa, Watford coming up. You know.
Yeah.
Do you keep hold of Vardy?
I feel like you do.
I think you do.
Yeah.
If he doesn't deliver against Norwich, then you're probably justified to get him out. But you got to keep him against Norwich.
Yeah, he's a danger man. He really is, and even if Rebecca's not allowing him,
I think you guys are.
I got rid of him this week.
Being a bit generous.
You should take an 8-point hit and get him back.
Who did you put in instead of Vardy?
Jimenez.
Jimenez, not a bad shout.
Well, I actually like because of the teams that aren't playing. I wanted to try and get in players that were playing that week.
Yeah.
So I switched out. Got rid of Vardy, got in Jimenez.
Game week 28. Yeah.
And then got in Martial.
So you did 3 transfers?
No, 2.
Okay.
I got rid of Relish and Martial.
That's a good shout.
Good stuff, my boy. There we have it then. NVD, flop of the week. All of the strikers, bar Jota, Aubameyang,
next
and
round's
Long.
on you, mate. That's what we'll be doing during the halftime break.
Forgot my wallet.
Yeah, NVD's doing the hacker here, lads. Lost his wallet, left it at home. We are off to go and frequent the bar, but we'll be back for the second half with a rambling from the dugout. If you want to stick around, we'll see you then. Welcome to part 2 of Left Back in the Changing Room. Welcome, hi listeners.
Wow, Palace is excited.
Baby Raheem's in the building.
He's got his vuvuzela.
Babysit.
This is why you need to
Try to
get...
babysit. You can never babysit and do a podcast.
He's excited. He might be playing again soon. He's excited.
Sorry about that, listeners. Patrick Vieira's baby is causing a mockery in the studio. Ricky Pellegrini's in and out of the toilet. I think he's got the runs. It's all going on. It's all going on. It's all going on. He's all right. He's back. He's in the seat there.
What are we chatting about, lads?
So I just wanted to let listeners know that we've got a rambling from the dugout on the way. Expected any time. Looking forward to hearing what they've got in.
How do listeners get in touch if they want to submit one?
So if you do want to submit one, you can send us an email, leftinthechangingroom@gmail.com. We also accept them via Twitter. NVD, how do you get us on Twitter?
At leftbackfpl, and you can hit us up on Reddit, leftbackfpl as well. u/leftbackfpl.
And don't forget what we want on Reddit, lads and listeners. We want a little bit of that karma-rama.
There you go. If you like what you hear.
Hello.
Hello.
Rambling from the dugout.
There it is, James. That's the Rambolino.
Rambo with a Rambolino.
I'm going to answer. Hello. Who do we have?
Alright, this is Wilson from Kenya.
Wilson. From Kenya.
Welcome.
Are you Tom Cruise's mate?
I met him once.
So it's Tom Hanks in it, the one who left
Not Tom Cruise.
He was on a cruise, he got lost on the beach, mate.
We've got a celebrity.
Tom Hanks on a cruise.
We've gone big.
And then he became friends with Wilson. And Wilson, sorry, we digress. How are you, my mate?
I'm good.
I like your podcast.
Yes.
We listen to it on the FM radio. It is good in Kenya. Number 1 in Nairobi.
That's brilliant.
Give us a Karma Chameleon, mate.
I'm glad we could reach
You can also listen to us on Spotify, or iTunes, or...
Hey man, I'm not made of money, okay? I don't have...
Sorry, Wilson. We best be
Wi-Fi.
quick with the call then. Are you on top up, or... I'm sorry. What's your question, Wilson?
So, I love your podcast, and I like listening to it, but what I want to know is, we're getting to the end of the season, and you got a lot of teams in the bottom half of the table. And what I want to know is, do you think that there are going to be lots of points for people scoring, or is everybody going to be defensive because they do not want to lose? Now you tell me.
Well, yeah, we
Good
certainly
question.
try to.
Cracking question, actually.
Yeah, very nice.
It's getting interesting in the Premiership, especially down the bottom, right?
It's
It
very
really
tight
is.
down the bottom. You've got Bournemouth 16th, Aston Villa 17th, West Ham 18th, Watford 19th, and Norwich 20th.
I think we're right off Norwich, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they can
Yeah,
hold
that's
up
very
that
tough.
drive. I
Yeah,
don't
very
think there's
They're
any
gone.
point in
But actually, Brighton, I didn't include Brighton in that. From 28 points down to 24 points. So that is a close gap between 5 teams.
Do you think Southampton are safe? You said last week that they...
Yeah, last week, but they got that result, right?
So they're 10 points clear. Do we reckon 10 points says you're
I
not
think
in
they're
it?
clear.
I think,
I
they're
think
clear.
so,
I
yeah.
think to
Okay.
stay up this year, you're going to need 38 points. I know the golden rule is always 40, but I think if you get 38 points, you could do it.
Do you
Because
think,
it's
it would
close
be
down.
that many?
It could be less.
But there's 10 games left?
Yes.
So there's
Yeah,
quite a
11
few points
with
still
this
to get.
I think it's going to be very scrappy. Because
Do you think Palace and Newcastle are safe?
I don't think Newcastle are safe.
Yeah, I think Palace are safe.
I think
we-
Palace are.
So we're saying anyone from 14th to 20th
Correct.
So
are
it's-
the relegation
So it's
teams.
interesting, these teams down there, they're obviously going to be fighting a bit more, they're going to be trying a bit harder, than someone, say, like Southampton, maybe they'll start to take their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
And is that an opportunity to look at some players who are pretty cheap down there and think, wow, I can get a bargain in here, and think, well, they're going to be going all out, for example, looking at with Villa, for example, do you think that they're going to up their game? If you were looking at Mings or Grealish, you think that they're actually going to start scoring a lot more goals and there's value in there?
You've almost got to identify which of these teams you think are going to make a break away from it.
Yeah.
And you've both said no to Norwich. Watford, they had a mini revival. Is that over?
It's weird with Watford. I think their home games, they're a threat. Their home games, I would put money on them. I would say they're gonna score some goals. They've got some pretty good attacking players. I know, Jimmy, you got a bit of sore point with some of their players that you've had. In terms of the strike force, but you can always look at them for goals. But then their defence, on the other hand, is just letting them down.
I don't see them turning it around in the next 3 games because they've got Liverpool, then they're away at Palace, and then after that they got Leicester.
yeah.
So I think Watford, if they're going to turn it around, I wouldn't be looking at them until at least game week 32. It's going to be a tough one. I think even the manager came out and said it would be his greatest escape, and he actually got Leicester out, didn't he?
That's
He said
right,
this
he
would
did,
be even
Pearson,
better. So Pearson's not even really back in the side. So I think I wouldn't look at Watford. West Ham, Ricky Pellegrini, your boys, are they
West
going to
Ham,
make a break?
the golden ticket is going to be against Southampton this weekend because we're at home at the London Stadium. It's one thing going to have a good result, good performance against Liverpool. A lot of people were lauding us for the fight and the spirit that we showed.
But it gets you nothing, right?
It gets you nothing. At the end of the day, we still lost. Yes, it was a good fighting spirit. Yes, we played well as a team and we looked pretty organised. But if we go to the London Stadium this Saturday and we get no result against Southampton, then it's worth nothing and we're back to square one. But we hope, as West Ham fans, that we will see that through. We will continue that fight. We've got some good players. A lot of people have said in the past about West Ham going down that they're too good to go down, but that's obviously not the case. Right, we're in the bottom 3 for a reason. The table don't lie. But yeah, I think West Ham, if we get a result against Southampton, that could kick us on. We've got Arsenal the following week, and then we've got Wolves.
Yeah, and I mean, you did have 7 shots against Norwich, so that's not too bad. That's pretty decent.
Against Liverpool, you mean?
Of course, against Liverpool. Aston Villa are above you. Now, they've lost the last 3. Sean, John McGinn fanboy, your sort of beloved team that you've taken on, that we've decided you've taken on, they only had 4 shots against Southampton. Southampton, who were close to them, had 28 shots in that game and absolutely dominated Villa. Do you think they're going to break away from it?
I feel that they've been pretty hard done by this season, Villa, actually. I think they've put in some massive performances against some of the better teams and just struggled against teams of their own calibre. I don't really know what goes on there. I think I would like to see them stay up. I think